just about to get hauled out, and yeah, we'll do some more.
We spent 5 years rebuilding this boat. Last year, we launched and took this nearly brand new boat on an epic 9-month adventure along the Canadian coastline. And now we're back on the hard for another few months of projects.
Hello, welcome back. First episode in the boatyard.
So in this episode, we describe why we hauled out again. Aladino takes you through a tour of the boat's exterior to show you the things that worked or didn't work, and we tell you about our upcoming projects.
That was a crazy passage from Steveston to Shelter Island. It's only 10 nautical miles, but the fog is thick, as you can see. The worst we've ever had. So there is quite a bit of traffic in the river. Luckily, I saw all the traffic on AIS, which helped a lot, but we could not see the ships, even when they passed us. And some of those are 180 meters long. It was big cargo ships. It was crazy.
Despite her name, we really hate to see Magic Carpet fly. Those of you who have been following for a while might remember our first boat, Magic Carpet 1. She was a sweet little 28-foot beauty that Aladino restored after she fell off a crane. So, suffice it to say, we never loved this moment. But everything went flawlessly, and Magic Carpet was soon positioned in her new spot next to the mighty Fraser River. It's funny to be back here. Strictly speaking, we didn't really have to come to the boatyard this year. The boat has been working flawlessly, as you guys have seen. We've had minor little things along the way, like we had the fridge stop working in Port McNeill, and then we had the alternator stop working in Ucluelet, but these are the sorts of things that happen when you're out sailing. They didn't need to be hauled out, but we had some other projects that we wanted to get done. Some of them boat related and some of them not so boat related. The book was a really big one, and the only way that we could do the book is if we actually had a space where we could order 1,000 copies of a book and ship them out from. Yeah, there's no way we can fit 1,000 copies of our book on this boat. So we're here, we've hauled out, but it also does give us the opportunity to do some fun kind of extra projects to the boat. So the big items on our list for this refit: a wind vane, which is a self-steering device that uses no power, so it'll be really amazing when sailing offshore. A water maker, which will greatly reduce our reliance on land and on docks. Particularly, this year, 2026, we plan on sailing down to Mexico in the fall. And once we get out of Canada, it's a little harder to come by fresh water. So a water maker will be huge. There are also numerous littler projects, increasing some ventilation, putting fiddles on our countertops and shelves, just little stuff that we didn't get to before launching in the last refit period.
Indeed, we're always crazy busy, but in regards to the boat projects, I'm approaching those in a more relaxed manner because the boat performed really good. So the things that we are trying to tackle are a bonus, and if for whatever reason we have to splash tomorrow, then we know the boat works. So maybe first thing that some of you are curious about is the copper coat. That's our anti-fouling of choice. Now it looks a little embarrassing because we didn't choose to pressure wash when we hauled out, but also this now shows you what it looks like after about 2 months. of not scrubbing. So while we were in the water, every now and then I would go diving, and while I was there, I would just pass along the entirety of the hull with my diving gloves. Nothing special, no Scotch-Brite, nothing abrasive. And there is this green slimy film on the hull, but it's so easy to remove. It's literally just a matter of passing your hand with a glove over it. So this is about, like I said, 2 months of growth. And maybe one thing that actually shows that it's working really well is the parts of the underwater that were not coated with copper coat did have some barnacles and some bigger growth on them. So that's where all the mollusks migrated to. But yeah, everywhere where we have the copper coat, it's just this green slime, which is really easy to take off. So I'm super, super pleased with it. And it would be nice to give the hull a little polish. It's a good idea to do it as often as you can, because dirt just clings to it less well. If it is polished, then it just is continually easier to keep it clean, and it just looks nice, and the boat deserves it. And maybe let's address our copper lightning bar. Caused a little bit of debate, but yeah, pretty good. We were in the water for 9 months, and these are still the same zincs that I put on before putting the boat in the water. I have not swapped them out yet. And indeed, I have pretty good experience with using Sikaflex. That's what I've always used. And so I believe that gluing this copper bar on with Sikaflex will also help with the adhesion, not just the through bolts, but also this. And indeed, it is still bonded to the hull. It has not come off anywhere or created gaps. So I'm really happy about that, because we would not want to have it flapping about. And there's still quite a bit of meat on the zincs, so that is nice as well. So I'm really happy about that. Now this fairing block here is not some of my proudest work, but this was one of those literally last minute tasks before putting the boat in the water. I didn't want to have lines catch here, so I very quickly put this one on. I also had one at the aft end, and that one indeed fell off. So when I do quick last minute jobs, those are not always reliable. But this one's still here, so I'm gonna make one again for the aft end, solidify this one a little bit. And another thing that I'm super happy about is our speedometer, which is down here. Previously, when we got the boat, it was on the side on a really big fairing block so that it would look down. And I decided to put it along the stem here, which to me is just really elegant, and it keeps it flush. It was a bit of an ordeal, but yeah, I wanted to do many things a little special, since this is this is our boat, and it shall be for a while. So I'm really happy how this worked out, and it performed really well too. Back here at the prop shaft, prop knot, prop sink end, there is one thing that annoys me a little more, but I don't think there's much to do about it. So I'm referring to the design of the zinc that we have on the end of our shaft here. And that one, as it erodes away, it comes loose. And so after a couple of months on the water, we start hearing a clunking noise. And the first time this happened, we were pretty concerned. We thought maybe it's a bolt on the inside of the driveline somewhere by the engine, and we just checked everywhere. It's always just about knowing where does the noise come from. And we finally realized that it's the zinc down here. So another task when I come diving, I bring an Allen key and I tighten it up, and when it makes contact again, it stops rattling and all is good again. But I guess it's just the design. It erodes from the outside and from the inside, and eventually gets loose, and it always has to be tightened again. I guess another thing worth mentioning that is a bit of a Dini signature move is removing stripes. And instead I prefer bringing my water line all the way up. When we're loaded for cruising, fully loaded, we're actually a bit higher, and so yeah, it's just an easy way to take care of a bit of a changing displacement without having not so pleasant dirty lines. Back here you can see I'm working on installing this stainless monstrosity and this is what Maya referred to as our old new to us wind vane. So this is the self-steering device that uses the wind to steer the boat. But yeah, this one is known as the Monitor. That's the brand name. Many Cape Georges are equipped with one, so installation is rather straightforward. The company actually provides the brackets, and they are still in business, and they're on it. So that is really nice. So the main unit, I found it used on Marketplace. Actually, it turned out to be a coincidence. It was a friend of us selling it. More or less from here back, that's the unit that is the same for every boat. But then these brackets and these ones depend on what transom you're putting it on. So I contacted Monitor. I said, we're putting it on a Cape George. So they supplied the needed brackets. When we first got here, the first mission that took a good week was just emptying out the boat and cleaning, giving it a thorough deep clean. I like to empty the boat because it just makes me so much more productive. When I have epoxy, it goes onto all the places that need epoxy. When I mix paint, it goes onto all the places where I've listed I need to touch up paint. So that means I don't want to shuffle things around, so I've emptied the boat completely. And the mess that you see down here is in preparation for installing the water maker. I decided that instead of rerouting the additional new plumbing from the water maker amongst the other stuff, I want to make a neat installation of the water maker, and then our plumbing will go back in. So this is actually all of our plumbing. Yeah. Perhaps the most annoying thing that we had to deal with was one leak. And that leak came from our flue. Not directly the flue, but I had a teak donut where the flue hardware would sit on. And now that piece of trim, like I said, was teak. It was solid teak. And I guess it just didn't like the changes in dryness and heat and moisture being outside, but then getting heated. So it cracked in several places, and every time it rained, water would seep through. And this one cushion right underneath the heater would get wet. So that was main priority on my list. So now this task has advanced already. I have made a new trim ring, and this time it's out of plywood, so the grain runs different. And hopefully this one will be more stable to the heat, moisture, temperature different. I've just Sikaflexed on the hardware today and given it one extra coat of paint. So that's why the bucket, there is, believe it or not, rain in the forecast. But I'm super happy. I really hope that it is drier than before. Maybe another thing to talk about are these solar panels. We really like them. They work. And I just love what an easy addition it was to the boat. I always had intended to maybe put on more solar down the line, but that is more involved and requires an arch, a structure, just to get out there and already start harvesting some solar. Yeah, this was a really easy install. Unfortunately though, the company has paused business, I think is the right term, due to tariffs. That just really wasn't helping them. So I believe they're waiting for better times, and then they will start up production again. So we wait till then and see if we can get our hands on some more too. And speaking of additions, you can see in the back that now I am working on a bit of this framework for adding more solar. And it's still an experiment. It's not permanent. Yeah, it's literally a mock-up. We found / were given these parts, so I want to see if we can repurpose them. I think I would really like to actually have something like this welded onto our push bit eventually to really have it be one solid unit. So we'll see how that goes. It's not a priority, and that's something that we can pick up later and continue on it.
Being here again is certainly an adjustment. Part of my heart aches for the world on the water that we just left. But I'm also happy to be here in a way. Aladino is taking care of the boat projects, and I'm taking care of my book, which many of you already have by now. I'm incredibly grateful to have had the time and space to make that happen. Writing the book was one thing, and that was actually a very pleasant activity to do on the boat in beautiful anchorages, but shipping it out was a whole other thing, and I definitely think I underestimated how much work it would be to ship out 1,000 books internationally from our rental apartment, but we did do it. The books sold out, and we're now actually waiting on our second print run of books, although we will be out sailing, so my brother will be shipping those out. Speaking of my brother, it was really nice to see friends and family again. My dad came to the boatyard several times to work with Aladino on projects, and my brother, Dylan, came by for a visit with a really remarkable gift for us and the boat. Dylan is quite an accomplished craftsman himself, and I'm really excited to introduce him to you in the coming few episodes and show you some of his work. I'm honestly just really proud of him, and I think you guys will really love the stuff that he works on. So, lots coming up, a new water maker, a new wind vane, visits from friends and family, and before you know it, a whole new season of adventures. As always, thank you so much for being here. If you would like to order one of my books, the pre-order for the second print run is up now, so you can order one and have it sent out to you by my brother Dylan as soon as that print run arrives at his place. The book tells the tale of our voyage along the British Columbian coastline, up the Central Coast, down the west coast of Vancouver Island. It is a kind of coffee table book in that it has a lot of photos. There's photos on every single page, but you can also read it cover to cover and be taken along the entire voyage. So it's kind of up to you how you would like to interact with the book, if you would like to read it or just look at the photos. And thank you for the beautiful feedback I've received on it. It really warms my heart. It makes it all worth it. So I feel very fortunate. An extra big thank you to the folks whose names are now appearing on screen for always going above and beyond to make sure that Magic Carpet keeps being produced. A big thank you to all of our patrons, without whom none of these episodes would be possible. So thank you guys so much. If you would like to become a patron, you can do so for as really what you choose to pay. There's different tiers there, but it's very flexible upon sign up. And we also provide real-time updates behind the scenes every week. So if you're curious what's going on in real time, where we currently are, how things are working on the boat, and all of that sort of stuff, Patreon is the place. Okay, I think that's it from us for now. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next Friday.